you. Good morning, Unity Halton Peel. It is February. It is Groundhog Day. It is February. It is Groundhog Day. How many more times do you want me to say that? I couldn't resist. Anyway, yeah, the polar bears at the Toronto Zoo say that we're getting a late spring. I haven't checked on the actual official record of the groundhogs, but we'll find out soon enough. So welcome everybody in person on the Zoom call and in the future on social media. We're so glad that you are with us today. And I am Wendy Karr, licensed Unity teacher. I am pleased to be your host and guest speaker today. So you'll get a lot of me. So we're working on an affirmation for 2025. It's still a baby, still a seedling, but I will invite you to join with me in this affirmation. We at Unity Halton Peel are blessed with an abundantly thriving community. It is done. Let's just breathe that in, knowing that this is our intention for this year. And we don't have to know what it's going to look like. We don't have to know how it's going to happen. We just know that this is the outcome we are desiring. And that is a significant portion of the creative process. Knowing what it is that we want, not necessarily the details, and how is none of our business, but just to hold tight to this idea that we are a thriving and loving community. Our mission is to lovingly inspire transformation and be of service to the world. And again, we don't have to know what that looks like exactly. We just set the intention, and as things happen, as things pop into our lives, we pay attention, we are aware, we are mindful, and we do and act accordingly. It being February, we have a new calendar picture, and our thought for this month is, I am love. My thoughts, words, and actions reveal my loving nature. Beautiful rose at Unity Village. And Margaret, would you care to share with us the daily word for today, please?
Yeah, thanks, Wendy. Daily word for February the 2nd. I look ahead with positive expectation. So many things pull at my attention. The things I must attend to, meeting the needs of others. And even my own pursuits and passions require my time and attention. Setting and working towards goals may sound like a dull undertaking, but actually it's an empowering path to spiritual freedom. Working toward a goal helps me to focus and keeps me motivated. I call upon and claim my spiritual gifts of imagination in order to set my goal and plan to achieve it. I use my gift of wisdom to discern the best path and my will to make the best choices. This is the way I use the power of God to give my life meaning and make my dreams come true. I look ahead, grateful for God's presence within me. Let your eyes look directly forward. Let your gaze be straight before you. Keep straight the path of your feet, and all your ways will be sure. Proverbs 4:25-26.
Great. Thank you, Margaret. All right, a favorite song we haven't used in a while.
Take a look at the person next to you and say, God loves you and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love, we come together. together, we come together, we come together, we come together, we come together in the name of love. Now look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Now lift your voice and repeat after me. Oh, we come together, we come together, we come together, we come together, we come together in the name of love. We come together, we come together, we come together, we come together in the name of love. From every walk of life, every walk of life, every creed and color, every creed and color, and can should we unite in honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, namaste, I bow to you. I feel the love in the sanctuary. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. Oh, we come together. We come together. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. We come together. 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 We come together in the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together. We come together. We come together.
All right. One of my favorites, and we haven't used it in a while. I think we weren't using it because it was kind of sad in a way because we weren't in our sanctuary anymore. But let's set the intention that we will come together in person at some point, whether it's for a coffee get together during the week or of a Sunday, who knows? But that's the opportunity for us. And after that high energy, I didn't think this through properly because it's going to ask you now to come into our time of prayer, our first time of prayer. And now it's February, so we have two new groups to pray with. We hold Enlightened Love this month with Unity Spiritual Center in Ottawa and Unity of Calgary Spiritual Community. And we send our love and blessings and appreciation to both communities as they serve their own neighborhoods and greater areas. Our affirmations from Silent Unity for the month of February. I can tell you, it hasn't been looking like this at Unity Village lately. They've had more snow than we have. But let us take a moment. And I'll read it once and then we can read it together. Again, thank you for muting yourselves. For inner peace, my thoughts become still in the state of peace. And together, my thoughts become still in the state of peace. For love, love is my name and compassion is my practice. Together, love is my name and compassion is my practice. For wisdom, I embody divine wisdom. And together, I embody divine wisdom. And for prosperity, I am a channel for the flow of abundance. And together, I am a channel for the flow of abundance. And for health, centered in wholeness, I am healthy. And together, centered in wholeness, I am healthy. And this is a song I think we've used before, but it felt right for
Joy
today.
fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it does. Joy fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it does. Joy fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it does. Peace fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it does. God fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it does. God fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it does. Joy fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it does. Joy fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it does. Joy fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it does.
All healing energy flows through me now. Harmony, balance, vitality, that glorious wisdom that creates and sustains health is mine. I live in divine well-being now and always.
Yeah. Joy fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it does. Joy fills every cell in my body, and I am alive. I relax into the healing.
All right. Do enjoy that song. So my talk today is I am love and I am strength. And why do I have two innate abilities or two spiritual powers? Because unity can't agree on this. And some of you may have some strong opinions about this. I know I've got a couple places where I'm uh, potentially in disagreement. And that's okay because we're all on a different path of life and love, and we have that opportunity. So let me explain something here. So the 12 innate abilities or 12 spiritual gifts, if this is your first time joining the Unity Ministry or Spiritual Center, are something that our co-founder Charles Fillmore developed because he felt that spiritual truths were just too big to be taken in one bite. So I like to think of it as a big wheel of mozzarella and just this huge wheel of cheese. It's too big to use, right? You need to cut it down so you can grate it or so you can slice it or whatever. So too with these 12 innate abilities or spiritual powers. And know that you don't have to believe in them to be part of unity. In fact, Charles's wife, Myrtle, wasn't particularly supportive of the idea. She was very much a believer in oneness, and she felt that he was, making it more complex than perhaps it needed to be. I think in some ways that kind of reflects the difference between an intellectual brain and an intuitive feeling brain. So It's fine. It's good. I personally like the 12 powers because I find I can pull into them, into my life, whatever I need in a given moment. And sometimes I need all of them, and sometimes I only need a couple of them. And sometimes I just need the Christ light that is the white light, that idea of the wholeness of it. So on the left, with the green light in the small of the back, that represents strength, which traditionally has been the second uh, power that is listed. Now, over time, and with a great influence of youth and family ministry, love got moved into and swapped with the position with strength. Because, of course, Valentine's Day is coming. And what more perfect way to bring the two ideas, the human experience of love, that is Valentine's Day, with the spiritual idea of love, that is its spiritual power. So, does it matter? Not really. And I often like to put these two powers together, especially if I'm doing some prayer work on behalf of someone or with someone, because these two work so nicely together. And often we forget that strength can have a very gentle complex to it, and that love can have a very firm process to it. So, with that, let me give you a quote out of Charles's book. We can set love free in our souls by cultivating a loving attitude toward everybody and everything. I already warned our board president that I was probably going to go a little off the beaten path today. I don't watch a lot of news. However, it is difficult to completely avoid it with the kind of work that I do. I have meetings with a lot of folks in the States, and a lot of them right now are very concerned about what's going on. A lot of them are finding it very hard to love their administration at federal level, at the state level, at the local level. A lot of them are very scared, to be quite honest, for what's going to happen next. And there's some similar concerns in Canada right now, in Ontario. What is going to happen in our human experience right now, where it feels like someone else is pulling the strings and we have no capability or authority? And this is where, for me, love gets kind of difficult, because scripture tells us, love your neighbor as yourself and pray for those who persecute you. And even though it may not be a direct persecution, that we're not being named by name, sometimes it can feel like this human experience is singling us out, whether it's because we belong to a certain ethnic group, or our skin has a certain pigmentation, or we have a certain ability or lack thereof, or we speak a certain language. So, learning to pray for those who persecute you, learning to pray for those with whom you have disagreement, can be really, really challenging. And that's why I put love and strength together, because I have found that I have needed that strength, that emphasis in the small of our back, to be firm in my standing, to be strong in my love, to brace that love. I think about, parents who have children who may not be fully mobile, and they're carrying their children over a number of years. What kind of physical, mental, and emotional strength does that take? And when you ask them, how do you do that? Well, because I love my child. So I'm going to give you a few thoughts about this. This is not one of my really organized point one, point two, point three talks. It's more just reflections as I've tried to pull this together this week in the midst of it seemed like one thing after another. And some of it wasn't about politics. Some of it was about some very unfortunate circumstances that happened, not only in the States, but elsewhere in the world. And finding that strength to open our hearts and to allow our hearts to be vulnerable, knowing that we might be wounded by it, but knowing that that is part of the process. From Daily Word a few years back, I release fear-based reactions and allow infinite love to fill me. Yeah. Part of me is saying, not happening, because it's so ingrained in me from childhood that certain things you are to be afraid of. And unlearning that has been challenging. And I know I still have more unlearning to do. And the reason I know I still have more unlearning to do is because I'm still in this physical body. So therefore, there are some more lessons I have coming. But allowing infinite love to fill me. It's not always easy. It's not always easy, especially if you have been harmed directly, if your name has been called out. I can think of a circumstance that I was in almost a decade ago now, and it took a lot of work, including with a professional counselor, to get me to the point where I was out of the fear. I don't know that I was in infinite love. Sometimes it felt like there were some strings attached, but that's where I was moving towards, was getting to the point where I could love the situation and love the blessings that it brought me and love the lessons it taught me and wave goodbye to everything else that no longer served. And to have the strength to stand firm in that truth and to acknowledge that those parts of the story where I looked really bad, and there were a couple, it wasn't all the other person, it was a going back and forth, to be able to say, I forgive myself for that. And I love myself, and moving to as full of an infinite love for myself as I can. There's a statement made about caregivers that you cannot give from an empty cup. And this is where we are right now, in my opinion. Being aware of, have I loved myself that I have surplus to share? And you might say, well, how's that going to solve anything? Well, my experience with Unity principles over the last 40 odd years has taught me that this is what's true for me. And if it's not true for you, that's okay. We don't have to be on the same path. I love Emily Cady's description of God as being like the hub of a wheel. And we're all on the edge of that wheel. We're all on the rim. And the spokes are the path that we're taking to get to that hub. And we may not be on the same path. It may look like we're going to be rear-ended or T-boned or head-on collisions, but we're all headed the same place. And that to me is what's important. That to me is what's been important in these last few months, as family members have had some debate and discussion about what way the US and Canada is going. And to be loving and to be strong enough to say, I will agree to disagree with you. I cannot support that for myself, but if that's where you are, I will do my best to respect that. It may be that we stop talking politics at family get-togethers. It may be that I unfollow you on Facebook, or I at least snooze you for a little while, so that I can regain my chalice of love within me, so that I am replenished and ready to address things again and greet you in love rather than fear or anger. A little word about the languaging here. When Emily Cady, this was written at the turn of the 20th century, so somewhere in the late 1800s, early 1900s. It's been rewritten a couple times to update the language. But one of the terms that Unity uses is denials. I've actually, when I'm teaching a formal class, I actually use the term release, um, because for me, deny or denial has too much baggage. But let me explain what Emily's saying here. She's saying, take your attention away from the appearance of evil and focus on the good, affirm the good. Take your focus away from weakness and affirm and accept your strength. So, having given that rephrasing, what does that mean? I mean, it could just be words for you, and that's great. That's fine. That's perfect because that means that you're thinking about it. The appearance of evil. It can feel like things are evil. It can feel like things are unfair. But in the absolute, the capital A, absolute spiritual realm, that realm that we touch, that we came from, that we go back to, Unity does not believe there's anything evil. One of the phrases I learned early on was there's only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. Now, that phrase has been changed around a little bit, but Unity believes that God is within us and expresses as us, that we are each an expression of God. And if there is only one power and one presence, then how can there be evil? The example that I love to give is, what is darkness? Darkness is the absence of light. Can you go to the local hardware store and ask for a darkness bulb? Is there such a thing as a bulb, not including Harry Potter or other movies, but just in our reality? Is there such a thing as a bulb that you screw into your light socket, and as soon as you turn it on and have power going to it, it absorbs all the light? As far as I know, it's not commercially available if there is such a thing. So if there is only light, then what we call evil is the absence of good, or what we call good. The absence of love, the absence of all good things. So that's what I have to say on the first one. Deny weakness, affirm strength. It can be very easy to say, I don't have the strength to do that. I was reminded of this a couple days ago, that you never know how strong you are until you have to be. How many of us have seen or read or even experienced a situation where a car is on a child or something like that? Something that human eyes say, oh my God, this is impossible. And yet the strength comes through in that time of need to move the car enough that the child can get out from under it, or whatever it is. It is possible. We just forget that we have that capability because societal norms say that we're supposed to be less than somehow. So I invite you to reflect on those two thoughts this week. Our greatest strength lies not in how much we differ, but in how very much we are the same. It's easy to see differences because media and social media highlight them for us. I really came to a realization of how little I engage certain aspects of media and social media because I had a weekly quiz and I got zero. And I got zero because it was all movie stars and singers that I don't follow. I'm not aware of because that's not where my attention is focused. And yet, Unless there is a physical problem, they put pants on the same way I do, one leg at a time, or perhaps two if they're sitting on the edge. They need to ingest food and nutrients. Their bodies release the toxins in the way that my body releases toxins. And so being able to say, all right, you might have a lot of more money than I do. You might have more goods than I do. You might have less worries about life than I do. But at the core of our being, both in the human element and the spiritual element, we are the same. We're just different expressions. And like these flags here, each one is unique, each one is special. And I invite you to consider that this week, to consider what is it that makes you special? What is it that makes you unique? What is it about you that is God expressing in this world? And find the ways to bring your love and your strength together so that you can sit tall or stand tall and know that you are a blessing, that you have value, and that regardless of what's going on around you, you can choose to still be the love of the world. You can still choose to be the strength that's holding the high watch and knowing the best and greatest for every person on this planet, even if your politics are miles apart, even if you disagree on a variety of subjects, you can still be that lighthouse to this world. And with that, I invite you to get comfortable, do a little wiggle if you need to. I know I do before I meditate. And let's just take this thought into a time of meditation. I envision all people building a world of peace on a foundation of love. And let us breathe this affirmation into our hearts, into our minds, knowing that as we are able to balance our thinking and our feeling, we are able to gain greater strength. And the love that it flows from us is not just a feeling, but it encompasses an understanding, an ability to hear another's comments in a peaceful way. And as we develop our own inner peace, as we love ourselves, there will come a time soon, immediately indeed, that love will overflow. And now I invite you to hold in your hearts and minds those for whom you have a prayer request. And it doesn't have to just be a person. It can be a situation. It can be something that you're struggling with. This is your opportunity to be strong and to willingly be vulnerable and say, I don't know how to love this, but I am open to learning. And let us take a moment in silence.
I am here, I am whole as I am. I am saved, I am loved as I am. I am grateful and I'm free, and I'm as perfect as can be. I am here, I am whole as I am. Nothing can illuminate the darkness like a serenade. Nothing can make peace like a song. We've got a ways to go, but then we're closer than we've ever been. So let's walk together on and on. I am here, I am whole as I am. I am saved, I am loved as I am. I am grateful and I'm free, and I'm as perfect as can be. I am here, I am whole as I am. I propose a family that looks a lot like you and me, including all the people that we love. Then we'll take a photograph of everybody as they laugh, put it in the book entitled Us. I am here, I am whole as I am. I am saved, I am loved as I am. I am grateful and I'm free, and I'm as perfect as can be. I am here, I am whole as I am. May seem just like a song, may seem just like a thought, but it soon will take hold, become a truth that's taught for generations, generations, generations. I am here, I am whole as I am. I am safe, I am loved as I am. I am grateful and I'm free, and I'm as perfect as can be. I am here, I am whole as I am. As I am. I am here, I am whole as I am. I am safe, I am loved as I am. I am grateful and I'm free. I'm so grateful. And I'm as perfect as can be. There is nothing wrong with me. I am here, I am whole as I am. Oh, just as I am. I am here, I am whole as I am.
And so it is, and it is so. Amen. As always, our prayer chaplains and prayer team are available for your prayer intentions. Please send them to praywithdiane@gmail.com. Diane and the prayer team pray over these for 30 days, and then they are sent to Silent Unity, which has been praying for over 130 years, and they will receive an additional 30 days of active prayer there. As always, thank you for your continued financial support. On the screen, you can see how to share your financial gifts with us, and we are so grateful that you continue to bless us. As is our practice, we are a tithing community, and we will be tithing to Eden Food for Change and to Unity Canada. And let us join together. Divine love now flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. And thank you in every language. If you're watching on social media and joining us for the first time, please sign up for our newsletter. You can find it at our website, as well as links to previous services that we have had. Upcoming this Thursday, you can still register if you're interested, Faith-Filled Governance, and how to find that balance between rendering unto Caesar and doing all of the administrative things, and in that process, making it holy. You can go to unitycanada.org under webinar and RSVP for that. It's 2 hours, 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern. Next Sunday, you are going to be in for a treat. Dr. Anne Theriault is one of our newest LUTs. We graduated 2 this past year, and she is doing a presentation on self-care, and I'm so glad she's going to be doing it. She brings a wealth of life experience and academic experience and spiritual experience to the group. So look forward to that. It was announced last month that Debbie Long and I would be assisting with some of the administrative things in our community. One of the things I've been doing is inviting our Canadian LUTs to come speak. So in addition to Debbie and I and Reverend Jane, you will be having a new LUT every month. I've got them booked up into June. So we will be having some interesting conversations and opportunities to share and grow. As I said, Reverend Dr. Jane Simmons will be with us on the 16th, and our own Debbie Long will return on the 23rd. Coming up sooner than I care to admit, March the 5th on Ash Wednesday, we will have our annual Lenten booklet get together on Zoom. The booklets are available at unitycanada.org under the General Interest Classes link, and all are welcome. The passcode is there. This information is on our website as well. If that doesn't interest you, there is a second Lenten group that will start the same day at Unity of Montreal with my colleague, the Reverend Dr. Rosemary Hyde. And she will be doing a metaphysical book, The Mysteries of Genesis and the 7 Days of Creation. So I'm trying to figure out how to clone myself, stop laughing, everybody, so I can do both. I'm hoping she will record so that I will be able to find out what she's talking about as well. It sounds quite exciting. Heads up, breaking news. This was added just this morning. Our annual general meeting will be held after the gathering on Sunday, March 30th. Please mark your calendars. Members, please be here. We've got some opportunities to grow and learn and share and figure out the how and the why of who we are as Unity Health and Peel and where we're going next. Still available until Friday, March the 14th, the early bird rate for the conference and retreat at Calgary. They are hosting this year, which is exciting to me because I have friends in Calgary, so gonna catch up with them as well. Our keynote speaker will be Reverend Martha Creek. Some of you may know that name. I'm excited to see her again. I haven't had a long keynote with her since 2012, so it will be Great to hear what she has to say and some ideas she's got around leadership and learning how to thrive as a community. And just a reminder that Unity Canada does have a monthly newsletter, and you can go to the website to sign up. The most recent issue just came out. Lots happening. There are courses and events happening in other ministries that are on Zoom. So now that we don't have to drive so far to get to places, I encourage you to reach out and see what else is happening in our broader Unity community. I believe that's everything I have. Have I missed anything, Madam President?
You haven't missed anything, Wendy, but I want to share a celebration that I just learned about this morning. In our addition of our leaders on our team, Wendy has shared with me this morning that she's managed to get 15 new songs into the MP4 library, which is probably doesn't mean a whole lot to some of you out there until you start to experience seamless presentation on Sunday mornings, because the MP4 recorded music is the key to not having interruptions around our service while we try to play music for you. So congratulations and thank you, Wendy, for that achievement. I am so very grateful for that. And that's one step forward. So yeah, let's bless our children. Go ahead.
Yes. And thank you. And I must confess, it was really nice to be able to just enjoy the music and not have to, okay, when do I have to click? When do I have to click? When do I have to click? So I'm benefiting from my own work too. So there we are. All right, let's bless the children and the children that we still are, because I am pleased to announce that my inner child is still ageless and ever shall be. So
Yeah.
Together, children and
Children
youth of
and youth of
unity
unity
and
all
of the world,
we
love you, we
we
bless you, and we appreciate you just the way you are.
Amen.
And let us join together in our closing prayer. This is a little sidebar. This actually was written during World War II in its original format. And it was originally, someone said, oh, let's send the soldiers the Psalm 23. Let's send all the military families a little card with Psalm 23. And James Dillett Freeman, who wrote this, said, why would you want to remind them of the valley of the shadow of death? Let's remind them that God is there protecting them and loving them. And in his wisdom, he came up with, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is. I am divine. And as is our tradition, Sue K. Riley will sing us out.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one tie that binds us, that can't be undone. I choose love. Peace in my family is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We sharing one sun. I choose love. Peace for our planet is growing because I choose love. Let love be present. It's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one. One choice unites us. Let this be the one. I choose love. I choose love. I choose love.
Thank you for joining us today. We'll see you again, I hope. Blessings.
Thank you, Wendy.